Good afternoon. Last week was a mystical start to the month of March, and all of these Pisces and Aquarius vibes will take us down a magical, windy path this week. And it ends up with a new moon at the end of the week. So, this is a perfect time for this monthly energy update and tarot reading. The way I have the spread set up is we have the left-hand corner at the top, the Emperor card. That is our overall energy card. Next to that is the Nine of Wands. And below her, we have the Moon card for our present energies. Sorry, the Nine of Wands is our past. So we have overall energy, past, present with the Moon card, and the Chariot takes us galloping into the future. So let's get started. As I said, this was the monthly tarot spread, but it kind of squeaks a little bit into the next month. We even have some energies that might be taking us all the way until May, which is pretty typical when you do a future reading. Sometimes it kind of carries on. It's a little bit timeless energy to it. There's a lot that we packed into this spread. So let's get started. As I said, our overall energy card is the Emperor. The Emperor is associated with Aries, the sign of initiative, ambition, power, and confidence. And coincidentally, but not so much, the next zodiac sign that starts off our Astro New Year on March 21st. Aries is ruled by Mars. Mars represents the month of March. Mars is the warrior of all the planets as well. So during our previous cycle with Mars, he sat in the bull, Taurus, which is quite a bit of a stark contrast to Mars and Aries. We probably felt determined, stubborn, resolute, just kind of plodding along. We can see those horns on the card there, sitting on the wall behind our Emperor. Mars and Taurus, a little passive, until provoked, of course, and definitely not his favorite place to be. So Mars and Aries are connected to the element of fire, and we can see now that things are starting to heat up. The Emperor's message is one of ambitions that we've met, success that we've found. This card is often seen as the businessman, the boss, the supervisor, the leader, and the divine masculine. This card is asking you to build a better world by moving forward, but more methodically. And to do that perfectly, you want to tune into both your determined heart and your compassionate intelligence. There's also a lot of energies of finding balance between the patriarchy and the matriarchy. A lot of those energies are swirling around in the collective right now, and a lot of shifts are happening in that area too. This card is also about mastering the leadership power in your own life. And you must lead your own evolution. This means that you need to address any issues that you harbor around authority, control, and willpower. And in doing so, this will herald infinite possibility for your success. So while the Emperor often sits back, cool, calm, and collected in this card, he knows he's got it going on. He works his magic within a structured framework. He also knows that the organizing principles of societies and sciences are very fluid over time. Societies change, and really that's pretty prevalent as we are entering into this age of Aquarius right now, with a lot of change and innovation energies abound in our collective communities and scientific ones as well. So we have to remember to remain flexible as we take charge over this next part of our leadership journeys. We can do this by being aware of our own energetic boundaries, our own motives, especially where others are concerned. Finding opportunities to be of service to those that you're leading along the way, and instilling deep trust and respect by meeting the needs of those people as you build up your own empire. So this card is a blessing and a bit of a challenge to have in the present position and our overall energies right now, but it never settles for anything that isn't clear and straightforward and demands a lot to give a lot and to get a lot. So it encourages us to move forwards. Take the necessary step to creatively rise. Use that fire and rise from the places that we're ready to leave behind. And this card gives us information about our true inner power. So tapping into these energies, we're doing things at the right moment when we're supposed to be doing them. And what we thought about doing is happening. This card also can represent the ultimate father figure, Jupiter. Jupiter's transiting through Aquarius for the next few months, and we also have some energy of Mars currently sitting in Gemini. These energies are most likely making you feel a bit more energized. So that way you can quickly finish that work and set out to find your next big thing. This energy is all about generating as much newness and excitement as possible. So take charge, Emperors. We're processing and understanding more through our mental function or the use of our words at this time. And hopefully that means that we're communicating more skillfully, not only with others, but with ourselves and our own inner dialogue and the way we speak to ourselves as well. Moving on. We're already up to 9 of Wands. So 9 of Wands is in our past position. This card shows us the card of the wounded warrior. People that follow Kabbalah, the 9 of Wands tarot card in those decks are called the Lord of Great Strength, which is pretty cool. The number 9 represents the nearing of the end of a cycle. So this is behind us, but we have learned a vast amount of knowledge from the battles that we fought. So whatever challenges are headed your way, you already know what they are, and you're ready. She's standing tall and pretty. You know what resources are at your disposal, and even better, you know who's got your back and who doesn't, because that's an important part of fighting those battles too. With the Emperor card as our overall energy, this could indicate that you're fighting a specific battle, maybe with that of an authority figure or structures around authority, or one within yourself as well, which is probably most likely the case. Struggling to find your own inner authority. A lot of people are working through that right now. While you're hoping for the best, you have already planned for the worst. And just remember that you've come too far to quit now. This card also represents another symbol, the wounded warrior, and the wounded healer. Chiron, the infamous asteroid, is known as the wounded healer. So that's another stark contrast to this card. But it does play a part in this past card and how we understand the energies of it, because as it finally left Mars in Aries last month, Chiron, hopefully the Emperor and the warrior, they both learn their lessons of which battles to choose to fight. And to remember to be our own authority. And that always, in order to help others, we must always fight that battle for ourselves first. That's what Chiron is all about. We need to heal ourselves and truly heal from our past wounds before we can go out and start helping others and start being on our true path. This card also speaks to the inevitability of some of the bigger, more life-changing actions that we've taken and how we've shown patience. And by now, obviously, everything has served an important mission for us. Hindsight's 2020, so we can look back and see how far we've come and what's healed and where we're headed. No matter the present and possible surprises that jumped in our path, the 9 of Wands in the past position is also here to show us that we've done it all right. You know, we can pat ourselves on the back. We found the balance. We drained all of our resources, and it was all for a cause that we truly believe in. The best kind to fight for. The 9 of Wands in the past position represents, too, that, you know, we know we've had to go through some pretty intense struggles to get here. But we did gain a lot of persistence, and we are where we are now. That's where we're supposed to be. Often as we complete or near the end of this major struggle period, we just want to forget about it and we're just happy to move on. But the 9 of Wands wants to remind you that you can know and trust your own strength and determination. You can be proud of that. It's where you came from after all, and you deserve a Medal of Valor too. So this card's very supportive as the foundation for that next big step in our life. It reassures us that we can be strong, we can be patient, and we can be calm again. And even if now that we're here, our goals are a lot higher or entirely different, that's possible with the energies right now too, entirely different from what they once were or once we thought they would be, that this is just one more battle, but we will win the ultimate war in the end. And you may even surprise yourself and feel fired up with all of this energy to embark upon a whole new battle, fighting for something that sparks your soul as we move forward into this fiery Aries season. So be ready. Here we go. Segue into the present energies. And look at that. We have this beautiful moon card. I especially love the card in this deck. This is the Light Seer's Tarot, by the way. And it's just such a beautiful representation of Pisces season. And this is our current zodiac sign that we're in. And it's lovely and watery and intuitive energies. Ruled by Jupiter, which represents expansion, prosperity. This card aligns nicely with this current transit. It's a perfect time for prosperity and growth in the areas of philosophy, astrology, and intuitive mindsets, just like our Piscean souls. Jupiter actually moves into Pisces in the next month or so, so be ready for some more expansion. This card is also a symbol of Venus by exaltation. Venus likes being here. Its favorite place of Pisces. And this card is influenced by the fact that Venus just entered Pisces too, and she'll be here until about the 21st. Venus loves to be in this fluid, watery sign, and it will allow your heart to expand and to dive into new depths. I love this. Love and generosity have no limits. There's no bounds, which will make your feelings and your confidence, everything will feel unconditional, free, unlimited. We also see the wolf and the dog, which typically shows up in the moon card. They're both under the moon and separated by the water, which can kind of represent Venus in Pisces and her desire to have harmony and balance. And this would be both within ourselves as we heal, from our past wounds, and find balance with our darker, shadowy self. And we're able to see the good within ourselves and also in our relationships with others. There's a new moon in Pisces that's also aligned with the energies of this card. We cannot forget, as I said. It ends off the week on the 13th. Under the dark new moon sky, Venus and Neptune will also be in close alignment. This particular combination of energy can activate our heart chakra even more and inspire us to delve into a deeper and greater love. Expect the unexpected too. Look for the magic in all the unexpected places. Life is less of a straight line and more of a spiral. We're always revisiting and returning to things, but each time our understanding is deeper and richer. You'll feel a lot of that energy this week too, before we head up to the new moon. Just like the two Pisces fish that we see, the symbol for Pisces, they're swimming in different directions. We can sharpen our own perspective. We can see things in a new way. But remember that our true state is wholeness and illumination. Pisces, in my opinion, is one of the loveliest signs of the zodiac. Pisces season to me always feels, very at ease, full of grace, beauty, relaxation. This sign invites us all into the greater exploration of our creative sides, our spirituality, our pleasure. Pisces asks us to see the beauty in everything, both within ourselves and in the world around us. What the moon card and Pisces have most in common is their connection to the intuitive realm. Both the Pisces sign and the energies currently and the moon card might initiate times where perhaps the details of our lives kind of escape us, but we do feel incredibly in touch with our intuition, our ancestors, our guides. We are tapped in. So float in the water under the glowing light of this moon. Look at her floating, so pretty. Submerge your soul and your thoughts in her beautiful watery depths. The moon card tells us to always trust our instincts and our intuitions. Your intuitive body, which is connected to all living things, is sharper and quicker than our cultivated, more civilized self. The everyday mind may not be prepared for those strange but mystical oceanic circumstances that happen with the moon card and during this Pisces season. But your intuitive body will support you as you float along, as long as you don't interfere with or try to control what you perceive. So a better approach this season would be to just meditate, just whatever way that you usually meditate, quiet your mind and relax, and allow yourself to be a witness to all the beauty and the mysteries that you can glimpse underneath it all. Inspiration, visions, and genius are definitely our rewards after we surrender to the moon's magic. Artists and poets and seers can tell you this is where they, along with the mediums and the holy men and the intuitive folks, they'll find themselves after weeks of fasting and prayers and meditations, and then they have that big epiphany or vision. They see the big truth. The moon is reminiscent of that magical forest in the fairy tales, the wastelands as the hero goes on his epic journey, and those spots where he meets with the spirits and the oracles and the sphinxes and his own shadow self. There's no predicting what will happen when we go to this land in dreams, and there's no predicting how it will change us. So you might feel a little bit moody and sensitive and in the fantasy feels. So you can either wander through this wild and magical landscape, howling at the moon, or perhaps just sit back and enjoy the ride of your own beautiful making. A good piece of advice would be that you should probably think about taking up creative projects, painting, writing, poetry, any creative endeavors, really, where you can transform all that you're seeing and feeling into something beautiful. And finally, we have our future position. And like I said, this card kind of takes us a little bit into May. There's some definite May energies coming out of this card. This card is beautiful, completely striking, and it really resonates with the energies with the upcoming Aries season. It's about getting what you want. The Chariot card is, in the Hermetic Tarot, it's known as the Lord of the Triumph of Light. That title definitely holds some powerful energies. The Chariot card also contains energies that, like I said, stretch further into the future with the eclipse in May, and the North Node, which is your cosmic destiny and your true calling. True to its name, your North Node would be your true north or your North Star. It's the point of destiny that you continue to follow throughout your life. The North Node is in Gemini this year, and it's battling it out with fiery Sagittarius in the South Node. And the sun will be squaring these nodes on the 12th, right before the new moon here, forcing change. The South Node represents where we're coming from, what we're bringing into this life. That includes lessons from our past lives and all of the gifts and qualities that we've already mastered. And some things that we need to heal, like our Nine of Wands. Both the nodes feed off of each other. So in order to become the person we want to be, we have to overcome the past, find true balance, and again, we have more synchronicities of balancing those opposing energies in this card. With the two eclipses pinging both of these nodes in May and June, we're becoming our own experts, our own teachers, our own gurus. We are fully equipped with everything that we need to create and move forward on this destined path. And maybe even to share what we've learned with others as well. With the age of Aquarius, the future position is definitely ideal for the Chariot. That's where you want to see it. You should be filled up with energy, knowing that all the trials that you're currently facing, or maybe have yet to meet, will be overcome. Success awaits you beyond your struggle, and it's definitely yours for the taking with this card. This card can imply a war, a struggle, but an eventual hard-won victory over your enemies, obstacles, nature, and the uncertainties that are inside of you as well. The charioteer usually wears emblems of the sun. And then behind him, you'll see, it's a Cancer card. And you'll see the moon and the stars here too. And everything's kind of working together in a symphony of victory with the lovely charioteer at the helm. This chariot really is all about glorious and destiny-driven motion and finding that true north that we talked about. This card also means a union of opposites, like we see here, the black and white horses, and the wolf and the dog that we saw on the previous moon card too. They pull in many different directions, but the ultimate goal is that they are made to go together in one unified direction. Integration with our higher values and our intuitive minds brings us to that increased feeling of control. We are in control. We're able to grab those reins and glide on in our life and direct that chariot exactly where we'd like it to go. This card's also a reminder that there must be balance within. That there are those two forces within you, the masculine and the feminine, the yin and the yang. again, we saw those energies in the moon card as well. But the charioteer, he's found the place where they both coexist. And you can also find that balance between your spiritual world and your physical world too. So the war is over. Peace rings out. And you are filled with a sense of bliss and joy and ease. I mean, all these beautiful colors in this card definitely give you that feeling. Confidence and unity of purpose and control is needed. And most especially your motivation. So you will get a lot of that with this upcoming Aries season. You will be motivated. This card can indicate a new purpose, a new motivation, a new inspiration. And get those stagnant situations and those cold, creaky winter bones moving again. This could even represent a vehicle of self-expression and the future entrepreneur. So if you have any business ideas that you want to get going off the ground, that's a good sign that they'll work out pretty nicely. As a major arcana card, and again, we have 3 major arcana cards in this spread. So we're dealing with some big life-changing scenarios here. The charioteer has proven to himself that he has what it takes, the categories. He's earned self-confidence and skill, as well as praise, because he's fought all of those long battles that we saw in the previous cards. So this is going to be able to enable you to find that step on your path. What is that next step? The charioteer is asking you to take that lead. Take all the risks that you need to prove your life, even if you can't see those guarantees. Choosing courage empowers you, and that already makes you a winner, right? Also, as the 7th card, the chariot represents completion in one sense. So the sense of the path that you walk to remember who you truly are, that you're an infinite being. The numerology of the number 7 is that of the mystique. There's powerful intuitive energies, and the person that is able to use all of those energies and use it as their guide. They combine the conscious and the subconscious and create a perfect balance. Allow the mind to shine a light into the very deepest realms to access the hidden truths to show us which way to proceed. This card represents the awakenings and the beginnings, a new era of consciousness. And that's a place where we act inside of love. We learned this during the previous cards with all of the Venus and Pisces energies. You're going to be restored to your truest self. You're entering into this space and your world is shifting. You're remembering how to move through time and space, and you're remembering your past lives, and you're able to actualize all the experiences that you chose to come here for. Your world is completely evolving, and the chariots led you here to your beautiful new future adventures. This is a card of strength and, like I said before, unbounded fire and energy and magic. So utilize them both. Utilize and remember that you are part of the whole, and that you're only moving in the direction of your greatest good, in your true purpose. Follow what feels right inside of you. Follow your heart. Rise above the fear. There's still some fear energy in the air, understandably, but know that there's nothing to be afraid of, because you are an infinite being. You're here for joy and bliss, and you live in abundance already. It's going to be a glorious spring, and I want to venture to say even the summer energies are starting off nicely in May. So thank you for listening and taking the time to watch this video. I hope it helped you. I'd like to do some more monthly energy updates and tarot spreads. So I will be seeing you back here again next month. Have a great week.